Leadership Community, where we empower men to embrace self awareness and authenticity. Introducing the Leadership Community, where we believe in helping men become the best version of themselves. It all starts with self awareness, and we encourage men to take a step back, pause, and reflect on their thoughts, emotions, and behavior. Embrace their authenticity and break free from societal expectations. Here are just a few testimonies from individuals. Leadership helped me develop self-awareness and embrace my authentic self. And now I feel more confident and fulfilled. Question: are you ready to unlock your potential? If so, join the Leadership Community today. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Phenomenal day to you. Welcome on into the Real Talk Podcast. I'm your boy Dwayne Roberts. Man, I am channeled by my man Shay Rivera. What's happening, Shay?
Blessings. Another good day.
That's what's up, brother. How you doing, man? I know we talked and we heard you. Man down.
Looking like an episode of Puerto Rican Down.
Man, how you feeling?
It's rough. It's another challenge, but I'm there. I'm in the building.
You're in the building. All right, I hear that. Everything good? You need me to do anything for you?
Oh yeah, I'm good. Prayers.
Pray. There we go. I mean, tell me something.
Yeah, prayer.
As men, we hear that statement all the time. I'm good, but you know what? Sometimes we need each other, man, and we got. I think at some point, sometimes we have to come up on the mic and say what we need, man. Other than that, guess what? Bible say you ask not, you what?
Get not.
Yeah, you ask not, you have not. So we gotta be willing to make them statements, man. As far as coming up on the mic and saying what we need. Good stuff, brother. How was your week? Other than that, bro?
It was good. It was dominating. Me and my wife, even through the rough patches, we're getting things done. Was able to get a unit up and running. So we got a new tenant for the month. So that's good.
That's good, no doubt. Well, outside of that, I know what your man down moment was it this past week or what?
It was been the last couple of weeks. This week just was a finale to it.
That's what's up.
The lead said no mas, like Roberto Duran.
I see we got Saeed King in the house. We're gonna bring him in. What's happening, Saeed?
What's up?
Blessings, big brother. How you?
Oh man, I'm well. Oh man, great week.
Good stuff, brother. We just getting this thing started.
Yeah, good to see you, Shay.
Hey,
seen big brother.
Hey man, the triad
Shay,
is back.
Shay, tell him what happened.
I've been running around with a how is the correct word? ACL Torah degenerative. No, a degenerative ACL Torah. So I pretty much what that means is that you wore the knee all the way down to the bone.
Shay got a man down moment, man.
Man down?
Man down moment, man. I hit him up the other night, and he was telling me he had just came back. Got a report that his knee wasn't doing too well. I think he'd been off of it all day. You ain't go to work today, did you?
I haven't been to work all week.
There you go.
I haven't been able to go to work all week, and it started off with me just thinking I was tired because I'm sore, and then Tuesday I'm in pain, but I'm like, okay, maybe this is the peak. Let it go. Wednesday, I messed up, started running around again, trying to get things done. driving, headed to Jersey, coming back, and like I overdid it. So I had to check myself in Thursday morning,
Good stuff.
like
No doubt.
immediately Thursday morning.
So here's the question, Saeed. I asked Shay how you doing. He gonna say I'm good. Hold on. Let's do the real check. Sometimes we gotta say. I told him, I said sometimes we gotta talk, say that we need some help, or express what's going on. One man, he came through though. He came through, and I say that because sometimes how many men you meet, and you ask them how they doing, and the first words they say to you is "I'm good,"
Yeah.
and to that point, sometimes when I hear it, I know men aren't good.
Right.
Men need other men.
Right. Right. Right.
Men need other men. Men need support. Men need men that they can talk to, and share some of their challenges, some of their struggles.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to shout. I had to shout Shade out when we talked. He expressed what he was going through. Definitely got my man in prayer as we navigate as he navigate this space, brother.
Yeah. 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 That's real, man. That's real. And Shade, I appreciate you being transparent and really and looking to us, lean on our shoulders and allowing taking that moment to vent. That's real. That's real. And I think as men, well, we know the whole stereotypical way of men. Men don't cry. Men suck it up, and that's gonna kill you. That's gonna kill you. You can suck up. You can suck up if you want. That's gonna kill you.
Definitely.
Yeah, and so I appreciate that. It's a lesson for me,
Yeah.
to remind myself, and I know I can turn to you for the same thing.
Amen to that.
I know I can turn to you for the same thing. So yeah, I appreciate that. It's when people men they say I'm good, I'm all right. It's could be a facade. They put on a front. It could be just cliche, right? Hey, how
Pre-programmed.
you doing? And sometimes people don't even listen for you to respond and say, David, like, no, listen, they just say, hey, how you doing? They never even answer the question.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's a way of avoiding the question too, in some cases, huh?
It could be. It could be.
Yeah.
Or it
Sometimes
could
I
be. Go ahead.
sometimes I believe it's a pre-program.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've developed a culture of such a lack of trust and a lack of emotional intelligence that we just say we're good. I don't want
Yeah.
to open up another door. Please, I'm good.
Man,
Or
you say that, but I literally talked to a guy today who just told me, man, I'm resilient, bro. I'll get through this, and he didn't want to talk about it.
Mhm. But
And
he acknowledged it. But that's
well,
the
yeah,
difference. He
yeah,
acknowledged that, hey, I'm going through something. I'm not going to reveal it to you, but it's just I'm
right,
going through something. And I'm
yeah,
going
Mhm.
to persevere.
yeah. And I think sometimes too, to really be a support to those individuals that acknowledge it but don't share, you have to honor their position, you know.
Mhm.
And I think that's really a place for me that I'm learning personally. Before we get too deep though, before we get too deep, because this is a good conversation. It's kind of leading into our segue. But I want to do the check in with you too, Saeed, brother. How you doing, my friend? How was your week?
I had a productive week. We had so this whole month been like, you have the all eyes on me thing. It's like
Okay, Pop.
it's your time. The spotlight is on you, and this month for Black History Month, um, it was one of those moments.
Mm,
Myself and my colleague, um, Ms. Holloway, we have really collaborated, and was leading the charge for our activities for the week. For the month. And it was just the focus has been. It was her idea. She said, instead of just doing Black History Month, let's focus on HBCUs. Great idea. And so we looked at all the different components for HBCUs. We looked at, first of all, just the history of them, right? And we looked at just the educational opportunities of it, right? We looked at far as one of the main attractions with HBCUs, the bands, right, and how it ties to our African roots, right, and all the historical people that have went through HBCUs. And early in the month we had a HBCU college panel and college fair and all that. So a plethora of activities is going through the month and exposing our young people to HBCUs. And the other day on Wednesday, we had a HBU style marching band. And we connected to our African roots. So one of our local charter schools who is African centric based, and they came and did libations and start off the program. It was just phenomenal, man. It was just amazing. And young people who never thought about HBCUs, some of them didn't even know what HBCUs were. Right? Some of our Asian and European teachers didn't know what HBCUs were. We're educated on it.
Yeah. So did y'all have college students? Alumni come from different schools?
Yeah. Throughout the month, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty powerful.
Anywhere from Florida A&M to Oakwood, from Tuskegee.
Bethune-Cookman and Bethune, I'm gonna shout them out.
Yeah. No Bethune, but
Lincoln University.
That's because I didn't get the invite. I'm just saying.
Let's throw Lincoln University out there.
Yeah, Lincoln was there. Lincoln, we had Cheney.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That sounds pretty interesting, man.
Yeah, so it was nice, man. It was nice. Yeah, and then I got a call from a former colleague of mine, and he said, "Hey, man, I know what space you're working in. I got a group of college students who's coming from Kentucky, who's coming in town, and can you lead a workshop?" I said, "Yeah, I sure enough will." And so, even the brother,
you ain't say that with enough enthusiasm. Somebody literally just throw some bread in your basket, bro, for free. Yep.
Hey, man, hey, man, yeah, opportunity, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited.
That's what's up. No, I wish you the best. I think you got some phenomenal opportunities out there. Plus, too, you guys doing some phenomenal things. So, my check-in, man. I got to admit, guys, man, this week it's been a challenge for your boy this week. To stay out of it, and keep pressing, even in the midst of things that don't look how you want them to look, And this has been it's been a real it's been a blessing. I think sometimes God try to seclude you or close you off so you can get to this place of alignment. I think sometimes the world or what we have going on becomes so overbearing that sometimes we kind of, and not that that's what I did, but sometimes we leave God out or we're not giving God enough. And he has a way of maybe collapsing what you got going on to really bring you closer. So this week for me has really been challenging because it's been a place of one, I think, getting more clarity about where I believe God is leading me. but being comfortable too in this place of, um, I don't want to say alone because I don't feel alone, but um, what's the word I'm looking for here? I guess, yeah, I don't feel alone. I don't feel alone. I just, you know how you want to do something and you don't feel like you're doing it?
You mean
Anybody?
like feel like ineffective?
Almost. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And so it's this place of realizing that one, you can't fix nothing. And two, the best place you can be, the best place you can be is in alignment with God's will and service to Him. That's the best place you can be. And I think this week for me has been helping me in a learning curve. One, how to more effectively connect with people through communication, and being okay in this place um, um, of getting it right. I guess that's what I can say. In this place of just getting it right for myself.
Mhm.
So that's what it's been. But it's been a treat. It's been a blessing. It's interesting that at least everything that I read this week, the people that I came in contact with, mentors, they all poured into me. Ready?
Mhm.
They poured into me without me expressing what I was going through. If that makes sense.
It
It was
does.
like it's like they knew, or anytime I was reading, God was showing me something that was really helping me navigate this space. So it's really been a blessing.
Yeah, that's amazing when you are in a state like that, and it's almost like God is reminding you while you going through,
Mm.
I'm right here.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to say that. I like that.
And it's like I think we have to remember, and that was going into the week, that was my message. The message I was receiving was don't go before God,
Mm.
right? And so as we navigate through life and we have our desires and what we want to do, however, before we decide what we want to do, we got to see if God is going to go before us. Because if God don't go before us, then that's a sign.
Mm.
I go. We're
Yeah,
going alone. And we know what happens when we go alone.
yeah, that's good.
You
Shay, looked
know?
like you was about to chime in.
I, because I myself is going through it, and one of the biggest things that I had to tell myself was progress over perfection.
Mm.
If I could still get up and it's better than it was yesterday, it doesn't have to look pretty.
Mm. That's good.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's that's real good.
Before it look pretty, it got to go through some transformation.
That part.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything got to go through the forge.
Mm-hmm.
Everything got to go through the forge. It's got to get beaten. It's got to get dipped in fire. It's got to get dipped in ice. It's got to get reformed. It's got to go through the transmutation.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, 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 I can't get around it.
No getting around it.
No.
And no shortcuts.
It's
Okay.
amazing how isn't that amazing though? We really do. We really want, well, I'm going to speak for myself. Yeah, I would love a shortcut. I would love for you to just say, hey, instead of you having to go around the whole board, I'm just going to skip you and just put you right on the other side of where you want to be. I would love that.
It's like writing your check and you ain't doing none of the 40 hours.
Hey, and people looking for the payday too.
Yeah, yo. Can I get my check without the work? Yeah, all right.
That's
Yo,
funny.
that is real
Hey,
though. That is real.
No.
don't
People
talk
want
about me
that
like
check.
that, bro. Don't talk about me like
Want
that.
that check. I'll put it in. Hey, real quick, right? So my I call like my godmother, right? She's not really my godmother, but I call her mother. She's a play mother, and I got a lot of respect for her. And so she's a manager at a major department store, and so she goes to this young girl that had recently been hired, and she asked the young girl, hey, can you fix the clothes over there? Some of the shirts and stuff gotta be folded or whatever. And the young girl looked at her like, I can't. My nails hurt. I just got my nails done. And she's looking at her like, you gotta be kidding me. You clocked in. Your nails ain't hurt when you clocked in.
Her nails,
Your
she couldn't do
nails
the
hurt.
work because her nails hurt.
But her nails hurt. And so
Oh
she
my
didn't want to
God.
do it. Needless to say, she didn't last long.
Of course you
Like,
didn't.
but you clocked in, but you don't want to do the work.
You
Ain't
don't
that
do the
something?
work.
That
We
part.
don't want. We don't want. We don't want to go through it. We don't want the pain.
Man, that's
Give me
so
the check,
true. That's
baby.
so true. Good stuff. All right, guys, y'all ready to transition?
Let's do it.
Hey, go
Man,
ahead.
y'all ready? Listen, man, we talking. What we talking today? The importance of values and emotional mastery as a man, a leader within the home. Did y'all get it? The importance of values, emotional mastery as a man and leader within your home. That's what we're talking today. Good stuff.
All right.
Listen,
Good.
so,
Lead us off.
you know, uh, as a man, it's funny. Um, how do we embody our values? How do we master our emotions? You know, I think these are two important factors in our life. That's going to one bring harmony and um, bring support within your family environment or culture, right? And I think sometimes as leaders and as men, we have to be willing and able to set the tone of what it looks like to lead by our values and having a healthy emotional outlook where we understand uh, the people we leading, our family, why our wives, our kids, our friends. But we're talking within the home, so I'm talking from the family dynamics, right? We got to understand what that looks like. And so here's the question I raised. Let me bring my little question sheet up. So I got three questions I want to shoot to you guys and let you guys answer, and we go off a conversation from there. And the first question is, why are values important for leadership within the home? Why should we as men have these values for ourselves?
I thought you want to ask 3 questions.
I did. I wanted to ask one at a time though.
Oh, okay, I got it.
You want me to just shoot all three of them at you?
No, just let's
No.
do one.
Yeah. Let's go with the one.
Yeah.
I'm so. You know what? You know what, Saeed? I've been waiting to hear from you all week, big brother. Go ahead, break it down.
So how my mind work, man? When you ask a question, like I get like some type of illustration that go through my mind, right? So, when you talk about values, I'm thinking of a railroad track. The train will not travel unless it's on the railroad track, right? And so the railroad track is the key for the train to be able to move and travel. But what happened when the train derails and go off the railroad track? It goes out of control and eventually stops. Right. Our values keep us in line. Our values allow us to to move forward and go in the right direction. But if we lack values, our home is just going to be a mess. Our family is just going to be a mess. And every little thing that that they pick up on, every fad, every trend, every immoral thing things that are contrary to our values, or the things that we say we are about, because the values aren't there, we will invite those things into our home, into our family. That makes sense?
Yeah, I like that. I like that analogy too. The train being on the railroad track, and if the train derails, well, then there's no more movement, and values, to your point, are what keep us in alignment, keep us on the track, keep those boundaries in place so we can keep movement in our life, and not just any kind of movement, but movement. More, yeah, yeah. Talk to me, Shay. Answer.
Exactly that. Especially when we're talking about leadership, then leadership, you're defined by your values, because that's the brand and standard you're trying to bring the team under. That's who you're trying to influence and make an impact with. And as well as demonstrating your values, you push away people who do not connect at your level and your principles. You automatically push them away. Especially with leadership and going just a little bit ahead in what you were talking about earlier, being emotionally intelligent leader with your family. Because sometimes that's a trap. Because you're demonstrating leadership, you're practicing your values, but you start to find out you're limited to where you could actually start voicing some things or start expressing some things, because as leadership, you don't start complaining and bitching in front of everybody. Pardon my language. But you don't start doing that in front of people demonstrating leadership, because you want to show your kids, your co-workers about perseverance, about pushing forward, but now here's the trap. Where do you actually go as a leader to go talk? Where's your inner circle where you could, which is why I think was important when you two did reach out to me and called me and checked up on me, because it becomes limited in where we could go talk with and who as a leader, being a father, being a husband, because you're not trying to demonstrate certain things. You don't want something taken out of context. And it becomes difficult. You got to play the balance. And I think this is why values are so important, because the values show you where the standard is that you should be maintaining and standing on.
Yeah, that's good. I think you're right. I think you hit on something too. And to your point, I think, well, statistically, I think 1 in 6 men have close friends outside of maybe a parent or a sibling. 1 in 6 men actually have a close group of people, men. Let me say this: other men that they can connect with on intimate levels. On an intimate level, most men don't even have intimate conversations. And what I mean by intimate is raw. Yeah, raw personal conversations about what's happening. So being able, even when you brought this up, when we were able to reach out, I thank God for my man Saeed, because he actually picked the phone up and called you. I had been sending you a text message, and then he called me back. He called me and said, "Hey, yo, we need to chime in," And so being able to have people who really value you, and want to support you, and you being open to Shay, to invite us into your intimate part of life. You know what I'm saying? That's a powerful piece right there. So I definitely want to shout you out on that. But yes, values, right? Values are the guiding light and realm. I think that without values, I see them like bumpers. I like that analogy that Saeed gave of the railroad, but I see them like bumpers at the bowling alley. You know, you got your little 3-year old want to roll the ball. You got to put the bumpers up so the ball don't go in the gully. That's that's how I see values. Values are like those things that sometimes you're gonna bump up against. You're gonna
Mm,
bump to bring you
yeah,
back in, to bring you
yeah.
to keep you in place. You know what I'm saying? Because um, without those values, we can easily go down the wrong lane, and it can be a gutter ball. It can be the gutter ball of life. Whatever we
Mm.
might be challenged with, that might just be the gutter ball of life. I like that. But yeah, good stuff. So here's another part of that first question, right? So values are important. We understand why we should have values. So why is it important for emotional mastery as a man in the home? And when I'm talking emotional mastery, I'm talking this place of emotional intelligence.
Because leadership is always about growth. And growth at this day and era, I really believe is emotional intelligence, emotional mastery. You know, even to the part, and let's just take me being vulnerable. Because sometimes we get these concepts about being vulnerable is weakness when actually no, that's when you're being your strongest. And
Mm,
then some men will debate it and be like, "Oh, you can't be vulnerable in front of everybody." And I'm like, "Well, you absolutely can, because just as you can look at vulnerability as a weakness, I find the strength in it when I become vulnerable and I find out how you act with it."
mm. Hey, hey, were you gonna say something else? Break that down a little bit. How you act with it, because if it almost sounds like you said I heard you say, if I'm going to be vulnerable um, with you, I want to know how you receive it. Is that
Absolutely,
okay?
absolutely. Because uh, some people are people stuck in their little pattern, and if they could get over on you professionally or personally, they will. And if they could do it at the moment that you're vulnerable, they're absolutely going to. Not because they're trying to be malicious, they're just trained to do it that way
Hmm.
in this culture and age. So yeah, I take vulnerability, and I have no problem showing you different levels of vulnerability just so I can find out different levels of you.
Yeah. Talk to me, Saeed. Why is
Mm.
it important to have emotional mastery um, as a man and leader within the home?
Well, first of all, you definitely want to have emotion. You want to be aware of your emotions because one, you think of a man in his home, especially if he's married, he have children. That says a lot, right? Especially if you have, and it don't have to be you just have girls, but let's just say I think we all have girls, right? You have we all have had daughters, right?
Yeah.
And so as a man, the leader of his household, you the first relationship that she's going to have, and I believe we all agree that when you hand your daughter over to to a man to get married, you want him to be able to emotionally have himself in check, right? You want her to pick someone that is emotionally in touch, right? In touch with his, basically in touch with his emotions, right? You want him to be self-aware of his emotions, because what happens when the man is out of control? What happens when a girl is raised in a home with abusive parents, right? It's possibly that she can go in that direction, right? When a person is not, uh, that can lead to abuse. That can just a unpeaceful home,
Hmm.
right? Because that person is not, don't have that awareness with that their emotions is getting out of control.
That's good.
That person aren't going back to vulnerability, right? That person is not allowing themselves to be vulnerable um, to actually release whatever that they're going through, rather with being vulnerable to her or another friend. Like when you and Shade, I got you on that. Like far as you being vulnerable and you seeing if how others respond to it. It's something when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable to our wives, and it's something about that, right? Because now when you're being vulnerable to somebody, you're allowing them to get to know you inside and out, instead of you putting up that guard, that shield, and playing pretend, or as my mentor said, you cool posing the whole time, but you never truly being yourself.
Hmm.
So if I could say that, you're truly being yourself when you are in touch with your emotions and you acknowledge your emotions. You respect those emotions instead of ignoring them, sweeping under the carpet, and trying to be somebody who you're not.
Yeah, that's good. I think nobody knows you better than your wife anyway. Mom and dad know you pretty well,
Yeah.
but I think they forget some of your or they forgive some of your shortcomings. Where your wife, she rocking with you 24/7,
Mhm.
you know, and so because of that, um, sh- she know when you faking a funk, so to speak. I like that, real good.
Yeah, real quick,
Values.
and I mean, if I could add on that, so you didn't spark something, right? So earlier in the week, so my wife, she's been dealing with something, and I went ahead of her and addressed the situation. And I told the person, hey, you might want to handle this. Now I'm coming to you as a man to man, I'm coming to you. You might want to handle this. And the person was in denial at the time, but then, realized, like, you know what, hey, you're right. I'll handle it. I'll deal with it. And so when she got the response and she's telling me everything about the conversation that they had, and she looking at me, she said, hold on, wait. Something ain't right. And I'm like, what's not right? She said, I see it all on your face. You want to tell me something. And I'm like, well, and I'm trying to go around it. She was like, no, mm-mm. Did y'all talk? I said, we talked. I said, we talked. Said, you didn't have to go before me. I said, I did have to go before you.
Yeah,
As your
that's
husband, I did.
That's good.
and she appreciated it.
Yeah.
She was like, I didn't want you to, but I'm glad you did.
Yeah, I was going to ask how did that respond. You know, it's interesting though. Um, that's real interesting. How do we show up? I love that. That's real good. So values really values are serve as guiding principles that really shape in our culture, our atmosphere within our family dynamics. They simply provide us a framework for decision making, conflict resolution, as well as communication. On the other hand, though, emotional mastery, man, gosh, um, equips men to regulate their emotions effectively, being where they can have healthier emotional expressions and learn to empathize with family members. I think that's really important when you really think about it. The other day, right? I'll tell you this quick story. The other day, I'm on the phone with my wife. Hold on, guys.
He said he was on the phone with his wife and remembered something. Was he still on the phone with his wife?
What I miss?
I said you just ended it saying I was just on the phone with the wife, and then you ran off. I said, did he just remember he was still on the phone?
Yeah, no, that was
I did
good.
that once or twice. Yo, babe, hold on real quick. Blah 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 blah. Put the phone down. Blah 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 blah. And be like, wait a minute, I was just on the phone.
No, that's good. That's real good. No, my door flew open. I was like, what just happened? The door just flew open. My dog came in. The rover came in. So, but yeah, where was I going? Oh, so I'm in conversation. Me and my wife, we were on the phone together, and one of my daughters called. Her was like, "Hey, my glasses broke. I need a new pair of glasses." She said, call your dad. Of course, they called me. I want to know how the glasses broke. I'm a little frustrated. Um, Baby girl got hit in the face with a ball, broken glass. I'm irritated, eyes swollen, and I said to my wife, I need you to check into this. Just, let's bring some awareness to it. Let's talk to the school, because this is the second time this happened. Now, mind you, the first time was baby girl fault. The second time, somebody else's fault. But nonetheless, I'm irritated. I'm really irritated with it.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife, I got to admit, she was giving me some kickback, and it was frustrating your boy. All I need you to do is what I asked you to do. Let's check into it, right? And before this thing got
I know
heated,
that voice don't always work for me either.
Shay, your boy, no love, man, no love, right? But watch this. I had to get to this place. I had to get to this place where I had to um, channel myself. I had to get to a place where I channel myself. Now, I admit, I think I acted like a little baby for the first 3 minutes, because I was adamant about what I felt. But at the end of the day, I realized too that sometimes these is daddy little girls. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes your boy emotions, I'm a high eye. Y'all do something to one of my babies, I don't know how I'm gonna act. I don't know how I'm gonna show up. And my wife was like, "Nah, bruh, you need to chill out." You know what I'm saying? It's okay. We'll navigate this. We'll do X, Y, and Z. But needless to say, she didn't initiate what I said initiate, and I had to be in a place where I understood her point of view versus expressing my point of view and having it my way. You know what I'm saying? And when I really reflect back on it, I realized that in many cases, excuse me, in many cases,
we react versus respond to situations, and reactions causes you to be angry. Reaction causes you to be frustrated. Reaction wants you to retaliate. Reaction wants you to have it your way. But when you respond, you put some perspective on it. Well,
Right.
let's look at this from the whole view. While this ain't the first time, we know that she one baby girl ain't no athlete. She ain't no gym rat. She a bookworm. So she got to be. I know from my wife's perspective, she need to be more attentive. She need to be paying attention. But it's not a need for me to go bring to alert the school about the situation. Baby girl had to, in so many words, be more aware of her surroundings and what's going on. And it was that place for me where I had to learn to um, dial back, dial back. And while I've expressed my concerns, now I have to allow my wife make a decision on how she wants to lead in that situation. See, because as the head, as the husband, I've already voiced, I have already brought it to light. I said I said my piece about it. Now I wasn't taking the action to make the call or contact the school. This was something that I was asking my wife to do. So now she has to know how she gonna lead herself in that space, and I have to be okay with how she leads, and understand her reasoning for why she did or didn't do. You know what I'm saying? Without being bitter, without being hurt, without retaliation. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we can get to this place. I don't know about you. I used to do this all the time. You don't listen to me, I ain't gonna listen to you. You ever played that game before?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, here you, in this case, you gave her the keys,
Hmm.
right? And so you gave her the keys. You're letting her drive. You're not going to dictate how she drives. No one likes the passenger drive
And it
or
and it
backseat
sounds more
driver.
like she parked instead of drove.
Hey, hey, she put the emergency brake up for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying is, right? She's going to handle it, you know, because you ask her to handle it. Whatever decision she make, you have to be in agreement with that because you allow her to handle it.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So I
And
had to.
sometimes we got to remember once we gave that out there, once we delegated, it's their job to finish it, not
Mhm.
your job to worry how they get it done.
Yeah,
Because everybody's going to do it differently. Everybody got a different strength.
right.
You know,
That's,
Glad you said that. Yep, yep,
that's real
absolutely.
good. Real good. Real
You
good.
know, you
because
allow her to.
I've been there, D, Coach D. I've been here acting like a man. Yo, I said, let's do this, that, and the other.
And
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 then
and
that
in that order.
dismay came back towards me. I'd be like, that wasn't even the order I told you. All right, it's done. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's you're allowing her to walk in her superpower, her strength,
Yeah.
and
So.
it's almost like if you have a household where she may be good at handling the finances,
Mhm.
that's something you don't get in the way. You allow her to handle the finances.
Yeah.
You might be good in the kitchen. That's something that she won't get in the way because you're good at being in the kitchen.
That's good. That was question number two. I didn't even ask the question. I already gave a description, right? So question number two was how can we cultivate values and the emotional mastery within our family, and to the point, I think I like what Shade said. As well as you, Said, I think you both said this. Is one, you passed the ball in her court, so we have to allow when people to lead themselves, you know. And two, we have to understand that we all handle situations differently, and we have to be open to that and receptive to how others behave, how they respond, how they handle problems, how they deal with people, how they pace the environment, as well as how they handle policies and procedures written by other people. You know, when you understand that, I think that's a level of emotional intelligence that you can implement because you understand uh, the relationship dynamics and the value they bring to the family dynamics.
A good place to start is with yourself,
Always.
and being lead by an example. Simple as that. Lead by example.
I
So
love it.
if you want, the values that are in your home and that your family live by, if you're not leading that, and you're not, well, let me just say, if you're not exemplifying that and being the standard, then don't expect anybody else to do it.
Come on. That's good. All right. Let's move on to number three so we can close this thing out. And the third final question is what are some practical strategies that you can incorporate when it comes to identifying values for yourself and practicing emotional mastery? Give me three each, guys. Three from
One,
you, three from you, Shade, and three from Saeed.
one for me, especially with the emotional mastery, emotional intelligence. One, constantly be aware and be self-aware. Um, and being self-aware to the point where I could actively listen and I could empathize. The moment where people talk to me and I just react to the question, I know I'm losing.
Hmm.
Throw that question again. Throw it out there again.
Did you answer? Did you give your 3 points?
Yeah, I gave my three.
Give them to me again, real quick. Just those three, so I can.
Uh, a constant evaluation of my self-awareness,
Mm-hmm,
me consistently practicing empathizing, and
mm-hmm.
active listening.
Gotcha. All right.
Because
The
so
question.
that much, because that way I know if there's anytime I'm dealing with something and I'm just being reactive, I know to pull myself back from it.
Yeah, that's good. So the question, Saeed, is what's some practical strategies you can implement when identifying personal values as well as practicing self mastery or emotional mastery within your family?
So identifying personal values. One, go to your source. Where do you get your values from? Right? Plug into it. Right? And as you plug into it, actually visualize yourself actually doing those things, becoming those things. Right? Put yourself in it. Um, I remember my father would tell me, uh, his father would just say, "Hey, read the Bible until you find yourself."
Mm.
And when you find yourself, go on and do it. Go do it. Right. And what was the last one? What was the second part of the question?
As well as emotional intelligence. What's some strategies for practicing emotional mastery?
Right. As you're doing those things, what I just said, start to have that intrapersonal communication. Talk to
Mm.
yourself. Like really get to know who you are.
And
Right. I guess
talk
that
with
kind of
yourself
mirror.
with some kindness.
Right. Right. Yeah. And after you confirm who you are, you have that conversation with yourself, then find someone trustworthy to have conversation with as well, right? And maybe they can validate everything that you're taking in, or they can guide you in the right direction. Um, and last but least, after you do all those things, I would say, yeah, back to, I guess, exemplify it. Be the example. Go on and do it. Carry it out.
Yeah, that's real good. Real good. Real good. I love it too. And so I'll sum it up like this. So hopefully I don't repeat what you guys said. But I think that at some point we have to create a supporting and nurturing environment. We got to be willing to support others' decisions, as well, just others' actions. We have to get to this place too where we find mutual respect for others' opinions, and be willing to listen and hear folks out. I think most importantly, you have to establish a routine of practicing what you preach. Practicing what you preach. I love this. One of the practices that I teach when I'm teaching leadership is being able to be the model that you want to see in the world today. Lead by the example that you desire to see others lead by. And so that's how I would sum it up when I think about how we can implement some simple practical strategies towards our personal values and practicing emotional mastery within our family dynamics. Listen, any last words on this, man?
Hey, yeah, man. I mean, be the example, be the model, and having core values will um, hold you accountable, help you walk in integrity, and be the ultimate example that you want for your family, your community, your organization, your company. You will be able to raise the bar and have a standard that cannot be compromised or should
Yeah,
not be compromised.
good stuff. Any last word there, Shay?
The only way in order to receive value, you have to give value. And if you have to give value, you first have to be able to define value.
Mm.
That's it.
Define value for it from your point of view.
The inner standard.
The inner standard.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Good stuff. Yeah, I think we have to really we cultivate strong values such as integrity, empathy, and responsibility um, by how we serve and how we serve as a positive role model for our family. It's there when we learn to contribute our heart. I like to say it that way. Contribute our heart to the situation. I think we get a healthier outlook. Emotional mastery enables us to effectively manage stress, communicate openly, and demonstrate vulnerability by fostering trust, connection within the family. Ultimately, when we prioritize our values and our and emotional intelligence, we learn to master ourselves. It empowers us to lead with more compassion, integrity, strength, and it helps us enrich the lives of other people. Is that good, fellas?
Oh, that was etiquette.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. There's a clock on the wall, man. I want to say thank you for taking time and rocking with us. Before we close this thing out, Shay Rivera, my friend, introduce yourself. Tell the little people how they can learn more about what you do, my friend.
Currently, I'm Shade Rivera, Employment Specialist for Department Human Services, CPI, African American Planning Commission. You know, I kind of forgot the agency I work for. But I'm currently under some pain pills and stuff.
We ain't gonna hold it against you. Good stuff. Saeed King, man. Share with the people.
I don't believe I did that.
Share with the people.
Live on a podcast.
You froze. You froze. It's all good. Saeed, introduce yourself to the people, man. Let them know.
Yes, Saeed King. For loveofwisdom.com. You can find me. For loveofwisdom.com. Actually revamped my website. Check it out.
You did?
Yeah, I did. www.forloveofwisdom.com. And you can find me on Instagram at forloveofwisdom. And you can see the rest of different videos that I have on YouTube at For Love of Wisdom 2020. So I'm not hard to find.
That's what's up. Appreciate you, gentlemen. Nothing but love for the both of you. I'm Dwayne Roberts. I'm your boy. As you always hear me say, realize that you have everything in you need to take your life to the next level. That's simply because your success is in your hands. Listen, gentlemen, have a phenomenal day with purpose. God bless.
Peace.
Blessings.